Hello guys, this is Linas Lima Yankee 2 Hotel. Today I'd like to introduce you to my Hustler mobile whips collection. Not a collection really, but rather a selection. It all started when I found somewhere among the junk in my garage this old style Hustler mast with this RM15 Resonator on it. It's missing the whip. It's got kind of an unusual type of connection to a vehicle, so I suspect this is supposed to be connected to a trailer hitch or something like that. So but obviously some parts are missing. If you are familiar with this older type of Hustler mobile antenna type, please drop a comment in the comment section about this trailer, possibly trailer hitch fixing. And I thought that I probably need to buy some more resonators. Maybe I could use these resonators with this old mast, but then I discovered that this end of the old mast is not 3/8 in size. You can't just fix it to your magnetic mount or to any other rack mount which is designed for 3/8 inch thread. This antenna is probably 30 years old. It's been all that time in my garage somewhere. Well, so I thought probably the brand is not around anymore. So, but luckily I had discovered that the brand is still alive. Hustler is, been in business for around 60 years probably, and it's still alive and kicking. And it's even got their European dealer in Germany, Wemo. And I bought a new modern nice white mast. I bought a quick disconnect mount, and I bought a selection of resonators. I haven't bought for all bands. I only bought for 80 meters, 40 meters, 30 meters, 20 meters and 17 meters. These are my favorite bands. So in today's video I'm gonna practically test just one RM80, which is for 80 meter band, because well, 80 meter band is not my favorite mobile band, not at all. But the reason is that in my country here we've got a very popular challenge. Every year we have kind of a mobile and portable equipment contest, and it's on 80 meters. And if you want to be portable or mobile participant, you need to have some mobile kind of antenna. So I thought the Hustler RM80, it's an interesting resonator to buy and to try it out. I already have a powerful, very powerful heavy mag mount, which sticks to the roof of my car. Mag mounts, they're not ideal type of ground plane, especially on HF. They are pretty good on VHF because it's the ground plane. The car is not so big piece of metal actually, and on VHF it's fine. On HF, the capacity link between the magnetic pad and the car's roof is not enough. So that's why there's a kind of a common opinion among the mobile operators that mag mount is not terribly efficient ground plane. But the most efficient way probably would be to drill a hole into a roof of your car. But I'm not gonna do that. No, never. That's maybe not terribly efficient ground plane, but it's practical. I was not going to operate in move. So you have either have a driver or operate your radio, mobile installation of your radio, just when you make a stop. So that's what I did. This version is the cheapest, most simple mast by Hustler. It measures something like 54 inch. I'm not taking into account this quick disconnect connector, which is absolutely a must to have, because when so it doesn't cost a fortune, but I highly recommend to buy this quick disconnect mount. any mobile antenna you have. If you would need to screw in all the time your antenna into a mag mount or any other mount on your roof of the car, that would be a disaster, because in the wind the longer whip is fluctuating all the time, tends to flex, and you have the tense, quite a high tense on the threads of the connector, and just after maybe 5 times you use it, you get weared out the thread, which is nothing pleasant. The quick disconnect solves this problem, and I use it with my other vertical antennas for many years now, and it's quite okay. So this is new one. I bought it exactly for this combination. It really mounts very nicely, so just you can do it with your one hand, and it's mounted. It's on. Most useful and less expensive part, accessory for your mobile antenna mount. So the rest of the antenna is comprised of the resonator and the whip part. So this is kind of a whip holder. There is a tiny Allen key supplied with each resonator you buy. These 2 Allen bolts allow you for regulating the length of the whip, which is active, and in this way you regulate the resonance. You tune antenna to resonance. The coil seems quite impressive. Not really that massive. It's just alright, 8" or 20 centimeters long, and something like 4 centimeters in diameter. So, but it seems to me the company which designed it, this Hustler brand, has calculated pretty precisely, I would say, the compromise between the length and efficiency and the Q factor, this so-called quality factor, because it directly contributes to the antenna efficiency. Of course, there's no miracles. The mast and the whip, including the coil, it barely makes 2.7 meters. So it's very short antenna physically, and the coil compensates this shortness by introducing the positive reactance to compensate the negative reactance of antenna being short. If I can participate in this contest, then I'm happy. So let's go now. The Hustler antenna on 80 meters, showing pretty good reception. Here's a weekly forum on the air of local stations, and the station which is talking now is pretty powerful station, somewhere something like 100 kilometers away from the place I'm now here. And on 80 meters the antenna looks like that. And I'm not using it while driving because the mag pads are so strong, really, that when you can move and the whole roof is moving together. The tin of the roof is thin, and basically I'm afraid if would I try to go in the wind speedy on the road, then I can probably damage my roof. The antenna is very narrow banded. It's only 20 kilohertz the width of the band on 80 meters, so I should use either my antenna tuner, or I need to change the length a little bit, adjust the length of the antenna. The contest is gonna be in Lithuanian language. You'll hear the general effect of the band. It's 100 watts output, transceiver FT891. Visiems LY2 Henrikas portabilus, visiems LY2 Henrikas portabilus. LY2 Giedrius Nijolė, laba diena, 59 Leonas 26. For transportation, my antenna is bended a little bit, the whip is bended, and antenna fits into the car, and I'm gonna change the location now, and the equipment is left working. So when I arrive to a new place, I only need to open up a lid like that and start working, with antenna back on the car roof. Alright, in the new place all I need to do is just take my antenna out of a car. Okay, pretty long antenna. It's like almost 3 meters long, but it's quite lightweight. And then I need to fix it onto this quick mount, which is extremely useful thing. The quick mount. Oops, I can do it with one hand if I'm trained enough. All right, so that's my 80 meters whip in a new location. Open up the lid. I can go further on, looking for more contacts. All right, now the mobile stations mini contest is ended. I've made 67 QSOs with my short mobile Hustler whip, and I must say that this whip was doing pretty well. Okay, I've done maybe half of the contacts I did last year operating portable with longer antenna. But well, compared to the size of this antenna, it did very good work, I would say. It was operating quite nicely. I was getting good reports from the stations being around 100 or maybe more, 150 kilometers around me, on 80 meters in the morning hours until the noon. So it's not really the good propagation time slot for 80 meters, but well, I think the result is pretty good. And I must say that on 80 meters as a compromise mobile antenna, the Hustler whip is doing pretty well. If it's rapid deployment, if I would only need, to work digital in Vara or something like that, and my task would be just to send some packet information to another station on the same NVIS propagation situation, I think the Hustler whip is very good antenna for that job. Alright guys, that's the Hustler adventures on 80 meters, but this is not the end. In my other videos I'm gonna test the rest of the resonators and make more videos on that. I'm gonna test and share it with you. What is this strange tiny thing is for? It's clearly related with the multi-band operation. So if you think this is interesting for you, please consider subscribing. Please leave your comments in the comment section. Probably you are using already for many years the Hustler whips, and you have much more experience than I do. So I'd love to hear you sharing your experience in the comment section. So for now, thanks for watching and see you in my next videos. This is Linas, Lima Yankee 2 Hotel 73, and cheerio.